Hello everyone, welcome back to Ayumilove channel for another Awaken Chaos Era guide. In today's video, I'll be showcasing my latest team for the Wish of the Wind Stage 12. If you enjoyed my content, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date with all of our future videos. Alright, let's dive right into it. So I'm currently at the Wish of the Wind Stage 12. I'll skip the formation to show you the heroes that I've selected for my team. So in this team, I have Gangelo, Santis, Zatlux, and Celestial Kane. Gangelo and Santis are my main poison damage dealers to deal damage to the boss using the poison, as poison will deal 3% of their max health as damage. Zatlux on the other hand will be my main damage dealer to clear the first two waves, whereas Celestial Kane is here to protect my heroes from the damage dealt by the boss as well as her minions. And for the spells, I have selected Gaia's Renewal to provide supplementary healing since there's no dedicated healer here. And Last Breath is to revive Celestial Kane if he drops out from the battle so that he can recast his ultimate ability to provide the AoE invincible buff. Alright, at the start of the battle, Gangelo will begin his turn first, followed by Santis. And then Zatlux will finish off the remaining enemies with his ultimate ability, Fist of Carnage. And I have disabled Gangelo's ability so that he will only use his basic attack to apply the poison, because his special ability does not apply any poison on the boss. So once the second wave is cleared by Zatlux, we will now move on to wave 3 where the boss and her Wind Tide Guard are located. So the boss will start her turn first because she's around about 210 speed. And the Wind Guard will attack Celestial Kane because he's the target priority since he's a light element hero. And Celestial Kane will apply the AoE invincible buff to protect his allies from damage, especially from the boss AoE nuke. The right Tide Guard or the right Wind Guard will apply the shield to protect the boss, but this one can be easily taken down with the poison. And then Zatlux will revive Celestial Kane and reset his ultimate cooldown to reapply back the AoE invincible buff to protect his allies from this AoE nuke. And once Gangelo and Santis take their turn, they can recover their health through the revival set to tank the next AoE nuke on the 7th round. Ensure that Zatlux is able to sustain the attack so that Celestial Kane will be the only one who goes down first so that he can be revived to apply the AoE invincible buff. So let's check out the battle report. So this battle usually takes around about 1 minute and 46 seconds. So let me show you how I gear each of these heroes and what are the stats to achieve to complete this run with a 100% success rate. So this is the first hero on my team, Gangelo, who is one of my poison damage dealer. So here are his total stats. He have 24,968 health, 1,400 defense, 182 speed, and 132% focus. Actually, this build is speed tune for Gemini Dragon, and you do not need this much of health and defense as well as focus. For stage 12, you only need around about 80 to 100% focus. For the speed, it'd be good to have more because the damage dealt by the Wish of the Wind boss is based on the speed difference. So the boss has around about 210 speed or 217 speed, and the difference will be calculated to do extra damage to your heroes. And for the health and defense, you could have it lower, maybe like 20,000 health and 1,500 defense, depending on the gears you have on your account. And I have Gangelo ascended to 2 so that his poison will deal, all of the poison will deal double the damage. You can test him out without the Ascension 2 to see whether this strategy works for you or not. And the reason why I disabled Gangelo's abilities so that because his detonated agent, his special ability does not apply any poison. It only removes the positive effect from the enemies. So this is his basic attack, Unstable Concoction. We will always place 1 stack of poison to the enemy. And for the gears, I have equipped him in a revival set, which helps him restore his health so that he can sustain the attacks while under the protection of Celestial Kane, AoE Invincible buff. So this is the weapon. Basically, you will need to prioritize on health, focus, defense and speed. So this is the weapon with double roll on health and double roll on focus. This is the helmet with some health, focus and agility. This is the chest plate with a triple roll on health and double roll on focus. This is his speed boots to allow him to go first in a team, followed by Santis, because he has a low base speed through his glyphs. So this speed boots has some focus and defense. This is a health ring with triple roll on focus and some speed. And finally we have the health necklace with some health and speed. His glyphs is only like providing 12 speed compared to Santis, which has like 31 speed. That's the reason why I equipped him with speed boots to go first in the battle. I mean to go first in the team order. And his abilities are all maxed out. The second hero on my team is Santis. And here are her total stats. 20,000 health, 1,600 defense, 175 speed, and 139.5% focus. You can use the same build as Gangelo, just that you will need to speed tune her to go second in the team. And for the health and defense, it can be lower compared to my build, because this build is mainly for Gemini Dragon's stage 14, the Hell mode stage. For focus, you can get it to have at least 80% focus and above. And I have her ascended to 5th ascension so that her trait will always apply 1 stack of poison whenever the enemy has 1 poison on themselves. And here are her gears. She's equipped in a revival set. Let's go through each piece of equipment. So this is the weapon, some speed, focus and critical rate. This is the helmet with triple roll and focus, double roll and defense. This is the helmet with some focus and defense and health. And this is a health boots. I did not use a speed boost because she has a high amount of speed that she gained through her glyph. Hence, I use a health boot instead with substat from with speed substat from all of the gears such as the weapon, boots, ring and necklace. And this is the health ring with defense and focus. And finally, we have a health necklace with some double roll and focus. And these are her glyphs. She has a high amount of speed. That's the reason why I did not use her in the speed boots. Otherwise, she will overrun or begin her turn before Gangelo. And her abilities are all maxed out. And this is the third hero on my team, who is Zatlux. Here are his total stats. He has 4,684 attack, 78% critical rate, 300% critical damage, and 157 speed. For the speed, in order for him to go before the black owls at the first 2 waves, you need to have speed above 150, or I think above 149 speed, so that Zatlux can begin his turn on the third in the team order to attack the enemies. For the attack and critical damage, you do not need to be this high because this one is built for stage 14 Hell mode stage. For other Arcane Dominator dungeons, you can have at least like around about 4,000 attack and 200% critical 4,000 attack up to 4,500 and critical damage from 200 to 250% critical damage depending on the gears you have. For the critical rate, you just need to achieve 70% critical rate because you will gain 30% more critical rate from the Assassin Training passive skill. And this Assassin Training passive skill, the critical rate and precision is not calculated within the total stats here. So you need to take note in mind that it will not be calculated in this total stats. And if your Zatlux isn't able to build quite strong as like mine, it's useful to have this Ascension 2 on Zatlux, the Bloodthirst trait, where he will grant himself an attack up buff for 1 turn. So you will have Gangelo and Santis to deal some damage to the first enemy, so that the health is low enough for Zatlux to kill the first enemy with his Fist of Carnage. And once he does that, he'll benefit from his Bloodthirst trait. But upon defeating an enemy, he will reset all of this character cooldown, which refers to this Fist of Carnage ultimate ability, and grants himself attack up buff, which puts up his attack by 30% to make it easier to clear up the remaining blackout on the first 2 waves. And for the gears, I equip him in double warrior set and one raider set. Raider set boosts up his speed so that he can achieve the 150 speed. And let's check through each of the equipment. So this is the weapon with some speed, critical rate and critical damage. This is the helmet with some attack, critical damage and critical rate. It's also useful to have him in sufficient amount of health so that he's able to sustain the attacks so that he will not be killed by the enemy. And the only person who get killed by the enemy will be Celestial Kane, because the enemies will only target will first prioritize on light and dark element first, followed by the wood, water and fire element. So have sufficient amount of health so that Zatlux does not get killed. If he gets killed, then it will be quite random on who will be revived by the last breath spell. And this is his chest plate with some critical rate, critical damage, attack and health. This is attack boots with some health, attack, critical damage and critical rate. This is the critical damage ring with double roll and attack and critical rate. And finally we have the attack necklace with double critical rate and double critical damage. His glyphs and abilities are all maxed out. And finally we have the star of this show, Celestial Kane. Is one of the key ingredients to make this work. And here are his total stats. Celestial Kane has around about 10,421 health, 1,356 defense, 101 speed, and basically that's it. And he's not ascended at all because the only difference is if he's ascended, he'll remove all negative effects, whereas if he's not ascended, he'll only remove one negative effect from each of the 2 team members. And he does not need to be geared at all. You can also use him at level 50 at stage 11 of Wish of the Wind. For stage 12, if you want to use him on stage 12 at level 50, you need to provide him with some additional health from the chest plate and some defense from the additional health from the helmet and additional defense from the chest plate for him to sustain the attacks. His glyphs and abilities are all maxed out, and the reason why he's there is because of his high ground ultimate ability, which grants invincible buff to all team members for 1 turn. Basically this one prevents your heroes from taking any damage at all to survive the first 2 AoE nukes from those 2 rounds. And that's basically it on Celestial Kane. It's quite useful for other dungeons as well, such as like Queen of Ties and Ash Magistra. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. And if you did, please hit that like button. And do consider subscribing if you haven't. And ring the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel. Also, if you would like to support my work, you can head over to patreon.com/Ayumilove to be a patron there. In addition, if you'd like to learn more about Awaken Chaos Era, you can head over to ayumilove.net to learn more about the game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!